What's up, everybody? I'm back. I know you were missing me last week, weren't you? That's right. It's me, Chuck, and we're gonna be doing the indie news. It's Monday. I know you guys must be the only people who are excited for Monday. All right, it's been a couple weeks. Let's see what's going on. First off, before we even move on to anything, for those of you who are not aware, it's probably like one person. Uh, New York City Comic Con was this weekend, and wow, my entire feed was flooded with creators at New York. Oh man, I was so jealous. I mean, I'm not sure jealous is the word. Excited because I have my first convention coming up at the end of this month, so it was super exciting to see all these people out doing exactly what I want to be doing, having a great time, and doing a really good job at what I've been told is one of the best conventions out there. So, yeah, we're going to come across a bunch of New York Comic Con stuff, and we're probably just going to skip past it. But I did want to mention right away that it happened, it was cool, and it looked like it was fun for everybody. So, comic news, let's do it. Okay, we start with a throwback thread. We've got, okay, Mississippi Zombie. I actually, you know what? Let's take a little bit of time and look into this one. I actually have a good buddy, my personal good buddy, Sean Barber, who does, he's my inker for Welcome to the Void. He also, we get along so well that he and I co-created a book called Belial that's coming out soon. That's going to be hitting Kickstarter probably next month. And he did some work on Mississippi Zombie. So why don't we see if we can take a look at Mississippi Zombie, if my computer doesn't suck, which we all know it probably will. And look at those handsome motherfuckers up there. Beautiful people. And let's check out look at that. I mean, check out that art. That's pretty kick-ass stuff right there. And it's an anthology. There's a bunch of different stuff, and it could seriously use some help on Kickstarter. It's a 64-page anthology. It's color, black and white. I mean, it goes through all of that, and all of them, all of the stories are based in Mississippi. So it's a deep south anthology. So if you like the deep south, if you like zombies, if you like any of that stuff, I'm pretty sure there's more people who care about zombies than care about Mississippi. Yes, I said that. Suck it, Mississippi. What are you going to do about it? I want one fan from Mississippi to just be like, Rob Anderson, you need to fire Chuck Pineau because he's got shit brewing with Mississippi. Bring it on, buddy. Bring it on. Light Chasers, issue 2, and design issue. I've seen... Light Chasers. So if I remember correctly, Light Chasers, they're almost like mutants. Is that, see that red on her forehead? They all have these kind of like red tattoo marks that mark them as mutants or whatever they are. So it's kind of an interesting thing, and so it becomes a little easier for people to discriminate against them, which I'm sure is part of the idea. They're up on Kickstarter now, so that is something to check out. We have The Gatherer, Volume 1. For 80s cult horror fans, a meteorite falls down on the outskirts of New York City, bringing a deadly alien threat inside. With art from Marvel artist, wow. Marvel artist Cabrol. See, did you hear that? Cabrol. I can roll my R's. My wife loves me because I can roll my R's. Oh, yeah. Available in indie previews, we've got Fetish Babies Aftermath, and right now, guys, Fetish Babies, the graphic novel that collects all of the Fetish Babies is actually on Kickstarter. So what I suggest is, if you've never read any Fetish Babies, go check out Aftermath. So the first Fetish Babies I read, and I was like, it's a solid story. I liked it. It was fine. But when I read Aftermath and Mentor Search, what I loved most about those books is that they teach you about fetishes and fetishists. And it was such a learning experience for me. So I would almost recommend it just for the learning experience. And that's not to also throw in all of the beautiful art, plus the amazing story, which it is. It's a really good story, and it's something worth checking out. So yeah, gang, check this out. Fetish Babies. Go read the preview, and then you can run out and you can check out the you can go check out the graphic novel. Jolly Jane #1, created by Russ Rollins and Jeff Kaufman. What happens when a paramedic gets possessed by the spirit of a serial killer? Find out in this amazing 44-page comic book. I will bet she's not changing a lot of catheters. That's just, you know what? I haven't read it, but that's just my guess. It's probably going to be something a little more gruesome. Ooh, or she does change a catheter, but really badly. Okay, now I want to check it out. Into the Suck #3, a sci-fi action comic book. Into the Suck #3 is the third issue of the inaugural 6-issue miniseries by writer Keith Thomas and artist C.B. Zane. I know C.B. Zane has done some work that I've been seeing with our own Rob Anderson, and also I know that Keith Thomas sadly passed away last year, I believe, and he left behind obviously a hell of a legacy. So I've only heard positive, amazing things about his work. I have not checked this out. I'm one of those guys. You're on issue 3 now. For me personally, I'd love to collect it all when it comes out and get it all. But I mean, if you've already got the other stuff, or if you're just interested, head out, check out this Kickstarter, or sorry, check out this book and make it happen for yourself. Suicide prevention superhero comic Leap Leap is a comic that shows the devastation of suicide by showing the grieving process of Patrick, who decides to become a superhero. And from there, we can leap over to Fetishism Tales Volume 1, The Collected Adventures of Barbara, a story of sexual bias and awareness with a fetish twist. A young woman's coming-of-age story as she journeys through the New York City fetish scene. So this is exactly what I was talking about, and of course, why am I not surprised that it would be up here for us to talk about? So, it's there. I'm gonna stop the show for a second, and not just talk about this, but talk about Rob Anderson. I've said this many times, and people really need to hear it. Rob Anderson tirelessly advocates for the rest of us. For all those other creators out there. I know he had my back, my ass, he had all of that for my Welcome to the Void, and I did really well. And I'm not saying I only did well because of Rob Anderson, but Rob Anderson definitely had an effect on me as a creator, on what I've brought forward, on me as an editor, on everything. The dude works his ass off, and the one thing he does not work hard enough on, and I've had to tell him this, and he agrees with me at this point, or he did last time we spoke anyways, and that is he does not work hard enough to promote his own shit. So here I am, Chucky P, coming out saying, pick up Fetishism Tales. It collects all of the books, it gets you ready for the rest of the series. It's going to be a beautiful trade paperback. You're going to love what you get. No matter what, I believe it's coming out, but having a successful Kickstarter will definitely make it a hell of a lot easier for him to do. And guys, trades are expensive as shit. Holy crap! I think I'm definitely gonna have to kickstart my trades down the road, and I know I'm gonna need help. And that doesn't mean that I'm doing this just so I can get that help. But what I am saying is, the help's needed. It's a solid story. I've edited 2 of the books personally. I stand by them, not because I was paid to, but because I love what's there. So that's what's going on. Please check it out. I am going to step off of my soapbox. It's creaking a little bit. And we're going to move on to the next thing, which is Geek Girl Crime War. All 4 issues of the Geek Girl Crime War miniseries and more. If you're a Geek Girl fan, or you're just jumping on now, this might be a really good time to check it out. You also get a limited Kickstarter exclusive. They're all available there, so go check it out. And then here we have the Draconis Project Book 8.
Phoenix Reborn. Dr. Kapoor meets Malvectus face to face. Ligar's deceptive plan fails. McCoy's destiny has been fulfilled. A phoenix is reborn. I can tell you with all honesty, I have no idea the words that just came out of my mouth. But to me, this reads like you ever pick up okay, millennials, you might not even know what this is, but we'll try anyways. Have you ever picked up a TV guide and you look and you don't know anything about a particular TV show, but you switch and they're like, this happens and that happens and that happens. You're like, wow, that sounds like a lot of really cool stuff. And if I was watching that show, I might be really excited by this. And that's exactly what I got. Like, I know this is the first time I've ever heard of the Draconis Project. It's on book 8, so that says something at least. I mean, it takes a lot to get a book to book 8, like a series to book 8, especially for us indies. And so just getting there, that's a step on its own. Like, can you put out 8 issues of shit? You can, but it's pretty hard to get people to jump behind it. So I'm pretty sure that that whatever's brewing here is something worth interest and worth checking out. So you heard it here. Check out the Draconis Project, book 8. We have the Indie Advocates Workshop at Daytona Comic Con, November 4th. This is a throwback thread for the creative process. This is, I mean, I like these creative process threads that Rob would do, so that's something to check out. Dirk Manning's Right or Wrong, the book that will change how you view what it takes to be a comic book creator. And I know that Rob preaches about this book all the time. This is something I definitely want to pick up sometime. I'm hoping I can pick it up at a convention when I meet him. I don't know when that will be, but I'm hoping that'll happen at some point. Here's some more. Stan Lee. Aftermath for cons. I'm going to need to know about that. I'm about to do my first one soon. Someone actually told me conventions are up and down and all exciting, and then at the end there's just this like complete burnout. And from the outside looking in, I want to be like, nah, man, I'm so excited. Like, how could there possibly be any kind of burnout? But you know what? I believe it. If you're like going at it for 3-4 days, just selling, excited, positive. No matter what your numbers are, no matter what's going on, I'm sure at the end of it you're just like, oh, I'm so glad it's done. So I'm enjoying the pre-con moments right now, because, like I said, I'm worried about the post-con moments, which I'm sure will be draining, and there's no lying or crap about that. Whoa, my speakers are loud and proud. Now you know they work, people. The 7 reasons to back this Kickstarter, and that's just a general to back any Kickstarter. I believe they that's like questions and answers and stuff about indie advocates. It's talking about us. Honestly, if you're watching this video now, you know about us. You know what we do. We're there for indie comics, but not just indie comics. We also talk about like cosplayers and all sorts of other stuff. And I mean, I mostly am just talking about this, but we also talk about the actual creators, trying to help them and spread their message and all that kind of stuff. Sometimes we've had I know that down the line as I've done this, we've had people who had issues, needed help, all that kind of stuff. And as an indie community, you step up, you help them out however you can. Excuse me. I know financially I'm not in a place to help these people out, but if my voice can get out there and I can do it in that way, then good. That's what I want. For those not able to see Dirk do a panel, here it is on YouTube. This is the panel with Dirk Manning, so you can check that out. Here's more from The Gatherer, which we discussed earlier. More creative process. Join the advocating Facebook group. Shawnee Shoehands, we've talked about several times. This is the young autistic child superhero. So there's a lot there. And I believe part of the money of that goes to helping with autism. I'm not sure if it's a cure or helping people with autism, but if that's something that's important to you, which I mean it is to me too. I have a child with Asperger's, so they're on the spectrum. I understand that. So it's definitely something that that needs to be taken care of and dealt with and helped, and at least learn about it, know about it. Yi Soon Shin, Hunter and Destroyer #1. Yi Soon Shin, Hunter and Destroyer #1 is in development. Our hero is coming back in full force, and he has his sights set on Baron Steel. Sorry, my dogs are going crazy because they're assholes. I think that's like the only way to say it politely. My dogs are assholes. I think they're like, oh, he's live. Let's all like chat, and that way, the fans out there will hear us. But no fans are watching me now, so they're not gonna notice them. New fall programming changes for our advocating video network. As someone who is on that video network, maybe I should know about this. And actually, I think I've read over it before. But let's go into it. Here's some more beautiful people up here, by the way. I love how you have like all these like everyone's kind of doing their thing, and this dude's like, man, not only do I make comics, but I eat some mean ramen. It's not, sir. I think that's Harold White, but I'm not 100% sure. But either way, I respect you because you're like, man, I can get 2 things done at once. I can eat my lunch, and I can show off my profile pic. So much respect to you, brother. Indie Advocates video presentation. They have the Kickstarter talk, which will be filmed live Wednesday nights at between 6 and 8. Kickstarter last rights will be used for special events dealing with Kickstarters and is removed from the weekly rotation. Indie News will return as a daily show starting in October after New York City Comic Con. So that, I guess this is the first part of that. With a new, simpler, shorter format hosted by Chuck Pineau on Mondays, and then Mr. Anderson will do Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, and possibly we'll have some guest starring comic creators on Fridays. So I'd be excited about that and see where that goes. Indie News Breaking, coming in fall 2018, a new quick video, live video exclusive to Facebook where we talk about where we talk about breaking indie news. Sorry, I got a notification and it was kind of a funny one. And then we have the Comic-Con forecast, which I should put my convention up there. And then the Advocate, coming in fall, will be a weekly show where creators can show up and talk about their creation and plug what they're working on live. This will be tentative to be on Mondays at 6. And then we want to start doing creator roundtables once a month, a monthly sit down. And your boy Chucky will be in on those because I'm a narcissist. I love the fuck out of me, and I'm kind of fun live. Am I fun? You don't think so? Well, who asked you? Shit, I did, didn't I? All right, okay. No, you won that round. All right, let's move on. We're gonna keep going through the news now that you've hurt my feelings and made me cry. We got some more throwbacks. Whoa, did I jump over something? We have the Comic-Con Highway, the biggest show of the year is here, New York Comic-Con. And you know what I did notice about this is that San Diego Comic-Con people were excited about and all that kind of stuff, but there's a lot of kind of negativity that comes with it too. Are people actually just there for the stars and stuff? Are they going to come and sit down with us? But New York Comic-Con is starting to step up to the point where it's at a very similar level to San Diego. Now, that's just from a dude from the outside looking in. You'd have to ask people who have done both and whatnot. I'm sure San Diego is still above and beyond New York. But as far as the people that I know who've been there, man, there's a crap ton. And they're just having a blast. So, very cool stuff. We have Kickstarter talk. The Adventures of Parker Reeves. Spelling Cthulhu is changeling for a gate crosser. But Drea, T-Man, Hyperstrike, and Guano Guy can handle it. Was that a mouthful for you too? Try saying that out loud. Do that 3 or 4 times real quick. Let's see if you guys are ready for this. Light Earth, the first Warvac trade paperback collecting issues 0 through 3 of J.R. Blanton's science fiction fantasy epic. The creative process, we talk with New York Comic Con creators. Victor Danders Jr. takes us to class. This was a throwback thread, but definitely something worth checking out because Victor has been around the block and back again, and he's definitely someone worth listening to. Listen, a children's picture book
that teaches not just kids the power of showing love to one another by simply listening.
And I appreciate that you guys have shown your love by listening to me for this past 20 minutes and 3 seconds. So, thank you. Not that I'm counting. Supporting a Kickstarter takes only a single dollar to do. We have discussed this many times. I'm going to go over this one more time for those of you who do not understand what it means. They go, hey, this Kickstarter, its goal is 7,000. My dollar won't do anything. I mean, technically, in that regard, you're right. Your dollar won't do anything. However, every single person, and this is what I really enjoy about Kickstarter, if you support something, all of the people who are following you on Kickstarter see that you supported it, see that you cared about it enough just to put that dollar in. So now it gives them another platform. It says, hey, all the friends of Indie Advocate viewer number 72, they liked this Kickstarter enough that they put money into it. And you're like, oh shit, well if they put money into it, I'll check it out. And so it keeps showing off that more and more and more. Does that mean you have to put $1 into everything you see? No, I definitely don't do that. But anything that I care enough to kind of show off and for people to know about, I do throw the $1 in. So I think that's important, that we do that and that we show that off. So please remember that next time you're checking out, you're checking out Kickstarters and stuff, to do that. The creative process, the importance of editors, a throwback thread, a huge thanks to Chuck Pineau and Leah Letterman, freelance writer and editor. You're very welcome. Thank you, buddy. But seriously, editors are important. And you know what? Let's go over this thread real quick because I think we are kind of winding down. And as an editor, I think that this is something very important that you guys hear about and know about. So let's do that. Okay, so it's a video. Let's kind of see this real quick and see what he has to say. Are you serious? Come on. Let's unmute that. Yeah, there we go.
My niece did Peter Pan, the musical, as a play at her summer activity. It was really good, actually. I really dug it. She did a really good job. The whole cast did a great job here in Fort Myers, but that's not what the point of this is. Driving back, I got a few minutes. I wanted to take a minute to speak about the importance of editing.
A minute, more like
now,
18.
I am dyslexic as shit, and I get frustrated during the editing process. It's very difficult for me to kind of admit how much trouble I have with writing. I think I've gotten a lot better in the last couple of years, like from where I was even 5 years ago to where I am today.
And it's true, he has.
It's amazing.
He really has.
Difference.
Even in the year or two that he and I have been working together.
With the editing process, there are a lot of mistakes that I make that I can't even see at times, and I don't understand necessarily them. I have to get back with my editors, and I've been really lucky to work with two amazing editors. One being Leah Letterman. I believe I'm saying her last name right.
Yeah, you are.
She did an amazing job with me with what was Social Consequences, but I believe the final name for it became Trollgate. She did an amazing job hooking me up with some information, some guidance, and of course the editing. And it's never easy to edit with me because of the dyslexia. And I have something called dysphagmia. I'm not even sure I'm pronouncing it right.
That's
I
what
could
it's
be
called.
pronouncing that way off. It's basically where my mind fixes things, and I don't see it. I literally don't see it. My mind assumes and tells me it's like a ghost. A ghost word is put there for my mind. So, when it comes to me writing, even I'm probably a lot stronger writer than anyone who reads the first draft will realize. But by the time you get to the last draft, and I have editors help me through it, you see what I think I am, a powerful writer and a good writer. And I'm using words other people have used, so I've been lucky to be able to use those words. People are shocked by my range of writing, but I can't do it without the editors. So thank you, of course, to Leah for her help on the Trollgate, which was a lot of help, and I really appreciate it. And then there's Chuck. Me and Chuck work together on a bunch of different projects. And we've actually gotten into a pretty good rhythm. We've been able to go back and forth in different ways. He totally understands what's going on with me, and I think he's gotten a rhythm for catching my mistakes.
Yeah.
And we go back and forth a lot, man, a lot more than probably a regular editor does with the person they're working with. But he's always so patient. He's always willing to explain and listen to why I make some choices, and then tell me if those choices work or don't work. And I've had the privilege to work with him, and I can't stress to you enough how much an editor, since I've been able to work with some amazing editors, I have gotten better as a creator and a writer. And I'm not just saying that to say it, I'm meaning it as like a genuine thing. Because as a creator, sometimes, we wear a lot of hats. For me on my projects, I'm the editor, I'm the I do make sure all the pictures line up and all that, and I make sure that the art lines up, and then I do the lettering. And you do so much, sometimes you miss the very small things, and that's a very important part to make. There are sometimes even when during the editing process when I'm reading something and I see suddenly a huge mistake in the story, and I've had to fix it, and that's the editing process. And sometimes it's simple. I remember Satine forgot to draw in Fetish Babies 1 tattoos on a character, and in the script where we had wrote the tattoos were part of the description, and they weren't there. And I kind of played with the idea, well, should I have it go back and add the ink? And the picture was really good, and then you'd have to do it on another picture. So we kind of left it out, and I just changed the script. But those are the moments that you need editing for. And when you work with the right editor, they get in the groove with you. They're able to help you enhance the story. Because they see the story, they read it, they get it, and then they go, well, what about this? And it's not that and a lot of people are afraid, oh, an editor is going to make me change things. And there are things I argue with Chuck, and I've argued with Leia about, and I thought that there were artistic choices. But, again, you have to be willing to listen to an editor, because an editor is not there to take over your story and take credit for it. I've never seen an editor to say, oh, well, that story's as good as it is because of me. I don't think editors ever did that. I've never known any editor to do that. I've seen that more come from artists, letterers, and writers talking about it, and it's not. It's collaborative. And, man, I'll tell you, the minute one of my stories hits, that I'll damn sure tell the world who the editor is, and I'll make sure the editor gets the spotlight with the rest of us, because they're part of the team. You cannot make a book without an editor. Editors are paramount. They're the most important part of the team as anyone else is, because it takes the entire team to make a book. And I think that if you think you can edit it on your own, you're a fool. I really do think you're a fool. You're too close. You can't. I can letter my own book, and even I made mistakes with lettering in the beginning because I didn't have someone reining me in and going, whoa. And I even had it. Chuck called me out on my lettering on Jax D. Anderson, and we went back and forth. We tested it with some kids, and we found out the kids actually did dig what I was doing. But it was important that we took that moment and stepped back. And
yeah, and he's right. For creators out there, it is important that we as editors, we bring this stuff up. But what you guys need to understand, and he did kind of touch on it a little bit, is he said, that people are afraid that an editor is going to come in and just say, hey, no, we're, you need to change all this stuff. No, we are your employee. We work for you. So when you come in and you say, hey, let's say I come in and go, hey man, like this character's voice, there's some issues here. Here's what I suggest. You can come at me and you can say, well, no, I don't agree with that. And the thing about it is, no matter how much I disagree with you, at the end of the day, they're your changes to make. I'm telling you what I feel is going to be the best for your book. Whether you agree with me or not is up to you. And at the end of the day, I can just as easily say, look, you know what? This is how I felt. You didn't agree with me. That's cool. But I think we need to take my name off the book. And that kind of thing happens where it's just like, hey, look, you know what? We don't agree and that's okay. And we're just going to part ways. Like, that's just for the best. But for the most part, it's just like he just said, I didn't think that the lettering at the time for Jax was the way to go. And just the style and stuff. And he brought it to a con. He showed it off to a bunch of kids. He did all that. And the kids loved it. I'm like, okay, cool. You know what? I'm not a child. All I can do is assume that in my head, and kind of look at it from that regard. And if I'm right, I'm right, and if I'm wrong, I as a man, as an editor, need to be willing to admit that. And so, I love the collaborative effort, and I love working with Rob. Rob is just a really cool, down to earth guy. He and I work very well together. He's willing to. He wants the book to be as good as possible, and that's what I want too. And so, I might come at him and say, "Hey, blah blah blah. What about this?" And he'll go, "No," and he'll explain why, and we'll figure it out together. And that's the whole point of collaboration. It's not I'm right, you're wrong. It's I feel this way, you feel that way. What does it look like if like what is the best thing for this book? Because your ego doesn't matter, my fucking ego doesn't matter. What matters is the book. We need to be that to be the number one thing. And so you need to put your ego aside and make that happen. And having an editor is putting your ego aside and doing that. I just had someone come in. Thank you, Becca. I am trying to be specific. That's something that's very important to me, to explain that sort of stuff. So yeah, that's how all of that goes down. We're gonna move on and we're gonna check out the rest of the indie news. Okay, so we did the editors, which I fully agree with. Comic-Con Highway. Now in the indie comic previews, Seed Seekers 3, and I believe Seed Seekers 2, sorry. The reason I was thinking of Seed Seekers 3, and thank you, that was my beautiful wife Wendy who corrected me, and she's my editor. So that's why this is such a perfect thing. But the reason why I was thinking of Seed Seekers 3 is Seed Seekers 3 has just started to come out. I'm not sure if it's on Kickstarter now, or I believe actually it's just started to come out, and I've started to see people unboxing it. So that's something that's really cool. We've got that. It's funny. Those notifications keep coming up on my screen, and I keep wanting to reach for them because my laptop is touchscreen, so I want to just throw them aside or say dismiss, and it won't let me do that. Realm of Spirits, Blossom of the North Star. On the second day of prophecy, Shemaiah, daughter of Gabriel, will open 2 realms, saving the lives of her people before she is born. I don't know how you save people's lives before you're born, but that's definitely a story. Huh? Yeah, right? Yeah, it's all time travel. Who doesn't love some time travel? Here's some more beautiful people up top there. I know at least 3 out of the 6 of them. Oh no, Austin Janowski, I know him too. Okay, so I mean, and when I say no, we're Facebook friends. We know each other. I've submitted to Russell Nolte's anthology. Madeline Holly Rosing was one of our backers, and that kind of stuff. Caleb Thusat, I believe he might have been a backer, but also I've done some stuff for him as far as reviewing and whatnot. Okay, let's look and see what else we have. Here's some more creative process. Welcome to Creators Alley. We've discussed Creators Alley before, but let's talk about it again real quick. And what it is like an ongoing, constant Comic-Con where you have a spot and you get to show off your wares in that section. So I have one as Chuck Pineau, and so it links to my Facebook page, and you can find all of my stuff there. War continues exclusively on Tapas. We've talked about War many times. It's a webcomic, and it's really cool. War is the story of a supervillain with the goal of world conquest, and in a world overflowing with superheroes that are treated like gods. Blah, 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 blah. It does... Sorry, I'm kind of blah, blah, blahing it because this exact thing about War has been on for pretty much as long as I've been doing the news. So I've discussed this many times. So hopefully, War does look really cool. The art's solid. I would definitely take a look at that and check that out. We have a bunch of ones we've already seen. Fetish Babies 1, the print version is out in the indie previews. So again, so now you can get the first two parts of the graphic novel on the previews. So you can preview both of them to check them out in order to back it on Kickstarter.
Yes, I've said that. The Deciders #1 of Wolf and Man. We have Boobs, an adult coloring book in indie previews. I might check that out. I'll be honest. I don't mind boobs. Just saying. Here's one Into the Suck. Franklin and Ghost, Live Free or Fox Hard, a 60-page novel by Garrett Gunn and Nicholas Touris with aliens, spaceships, and general fuckery. And it says that there. It's not even me adding my own swear words. That was already there. Kickstarter for the Independent Creators, 2nd edition, a practical and informative guide to crowdfunding by Madeline Holling-Rosing, who is the voice and the creator behind Boston Metaphysical Society, which is a really, really cool book. I actually got the second one on Kickstarter. It's a really cool book. I think that's just about it. You can watch Bob Sally here as he talks about Ogre. I know he was selling Ogre at New York City Comic Con. That was really cool. So I think I'm going to bid you all adieu. I'm going to make this the end of the day. So, everybody, thank you so much for coming out. I always love doing this with you guys. So happy to do this. Thank you if you watched us live. If you watched us live, thank you so much. If you're watching this later on, I hope you appreciate and enjoy what we're doing. And peace, love, and comics, my friends. Take care.